Now, when filing taxes, many remote and hybrid workers may be wondering what kind of tax breaks, if any, their business expenses qualify for. Yahoo Finance's personal finance editor, Janna Herron, joins me now. So, Janna, what tax breaks can these workers expect?
Well, here's the bad news. Those kinds of business expense write-offs are only available now to self-employed workers. So workers who are considered an employee of a company, who get W-2 forms, largely can't deduct those expenses, even if they were working remotely or in a hybrid arrangement. And that wasn't always the case. Before the tax reform in 2017 under the Trump administration, employees could take unreimbursed business expense deduction, but not now. But there are a few caveats. One, as with everything, there are a few exceptions, but these are very narrow. So if you are an employee, but you're also a military reservist, a qualified performing artist, a fee-based state or local government official, or an employee with impairment-related work expense, you can claim the employee business expense deduction, which is only available if you itemize. The second caveat is if you have a side gig, you may be able to write off some of those expenses that are related to the side gig as long as it's just for that particular hustle. If you have an expense that is shared between your W-2 employment and your side gig, it doesn't work.
So then for people who are wondering, because there can be some gray area here, who can deduct expenses related to business done at home and what can they deduct?
Yeah, so self-employed workers definitely can take lots of different business deductions. And some of the most common ones are the self-employment tax deductions. So you can write off 50% of the Social Security and Medicare taxes you pay. There's a self-employed health insurance deduction, which Lisa actually just spoke about. There's a self-employment retirement deduction. So if you have an SEP, a simple IRA, or a simple 401k, that would work. Home office expenses, so including your cell phone, your internet, your utilities. If you use your car and it's germane to your business, not you're going to get a Starbucks coffee because you need a little burst, you can also deduct those auto expenses. Others include property that you own or equipment that you own, and also continuing education courses.
So then for people who aren't included in that, I mean, what does the process look like for calculating a home office deduction?
Right, so I think that's a really big question for a lot of people because they're like, oh, I use this little space over here in my room for my business. How do I go about figuring out what I can deduct? So there are two options. You can go with the simplified option, and that's where you deduct $5 per square foot of the portion of the home that's used for the business, and that's up to 300 square feet. Or you can go with the regular method, which often can result in a larger deduction. So you determine the percentage of your home's floor space that you use for your business, and then you apply that percentage to eligible expenses such as mortgage, your rent, utilities. You can also change the method you use from one year to the next, so you're not tied down to one.
All right, fantastic stuff. Thank you for breaking that down for us. I know a lot of people have questions. Janna Herron there for us. Thanks so much.